And I may actually attempt to shoot a hog in the temple. It really needs to be a headshot. Sniper mode. This case on the left is a standard Hornady 223 case. The next two, the one in the middle and on the right, is a Hornady 6.8 SPC case that is necked down to a 20 caliber bullet. Case on the left has 29.5 grains of CFE223, which is the hottest load for this powder suggested by Hornady. And that powder is meeting right here at the shoulder. I've got the same load, 29.5 grains, in the 6.8 SPC case, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's quite a bit of room for some powder that's in there. The hottest load suggested by Mad Dog Weapon Systems for this load is 33.7 grains, and I've got that maxed out right there at 33.7. That's also meeting right there at the shoulder. So the question today is, how much faster can I push the Sierra 39 grain Blitz King bullet and the Hornady 40 grain VMAX bullet than the standard Remington, or is it Remington? Ruger 204. Remington or Ruger 204? I'll have to look that up. I can't remember. So I went and looked up their velocities, and they were using a 28-inch barrel, and I knocked off 100 FPS off of this one and of this one, because I'm only going to be shooting a 24-inch barrel, and I think that's going to be fair there. This is actually measured on a 24-inch barrel. I'm going to be using the CFE223 at 33.7 grains as the hottest load, but I'm going to max that out to 34 grains there. And it says I should get 41.39. What you're getting out of a 204 is 36.65. So I want to at least meet that, if not go faster than that. And I'm going to use IMR 4064 because I've got a ton of that powder. And 31.2 grains is going to get me up to 40.42, and I'm going to go up to 31.5 grains. So I should be able to get that a little bit hotter, and what I'm trying to beat there is 3,500 FPS. So we will get this loaded out and head out on Memorial's Day to see what kind of velocities this guy should get. Comment below on which you think I'll be able to pull. This is not where I typically shoot on the property, but we've got new cattle on here, and they're kind of everywhere. So I went to a different side of the property where I've got them fenced off. But the problem is, as you can tell, I'm shooting through really high grass. That's why I've got that bag, or that case there, and that bag of corn there to kind of weigh everything down. And I only have about 115 yards, so not the best way to do a ladder load, but it is what it is. All right, level, good. Chronographer looks good. And let's not blow out my eardrums again, which is a real thing. Another backstory. $39.92. Let it cool just a second. $40.51. $41.48. I don't want to shoot that next round hot in the chamber because it'll actually speed it up. Actually, that was 41.46. $41.97. Take a look at that brass real quick. Ugh. Man. Alright, I'm going to shoot the fifth one time and see what it looks like. 4 is pretty extreme already. That last one was 41.97. 4281. Yep, I'm not going to shoot it again. Pop the primer right out of there. All right, where'd that bad boy go? So this one, not shoot again. Oh, there it is. Primer popper. 4252. It did not like that. Oh, that was a primer popper. 4190. Let it cool down a second. $41.22. Let it cool. And that was $39.94. Before getting in today's post-shot evaluation, I want to show you what a normal primer looks like using a very moderate load shooting the 32 grain Hornady VMAX. You can see that the primer is still rounded and that the dimple is really nice and clean there. Looking at today's shot evaluation, it looks like loads 1, 3, or 5 land right in that center node there. And looking at this picture, it looks like 3 would really be the one to go to. But the reason that I'm not going to use that is I want to show you what this primer, this is load 1, load 2, and then load 3. Look at this primer. Focus. See how flat that primer is? See that case ejection mark there? And look at that dimple. What you're looking at is it shot so fast and hot that the pin didn't even get to pull back yet, and it was still hanging by the time that bullet ejected out of there. Look at that. That is so hot. So 3 is not a go-to. And so what I'm landing with is numbrel uno. And what's really good about number 1 is if you look at the velocity spread, it is basically a 2 FPS there. The group is opened up at 1.066, but as noted here, this was a clean cold bore 0. And so that is probably the result of that opening up. And me being the child that I am, I really want to get 4,000 FPS, so I'm actually going to use 32.1 grains, and I did some reverse math and engineering here, and I figured out 1 grain or 0.01 grains of powder is getting me roughly about 18 FPS. So I'm going to use 32.1 grains of the, what is this, CFE223, and that should get me right at 4,000 FPS, and I guesstimated it right at about 4,010 FPS. And I may actually attempt to shoot a hog in the temple with this caliber. It's definitely not going to drop it if you hit it in the chest or neck. It really needs to be a headshot. Sniper mode.